You may have heard the saying that your motorcycle goes where you look. This is often taught in motorcycle riding schools and courses.
However, this statement is a little bit oversimplified, and though in most cases it holds true, sometimes it just doesn't work this way.
Let's dive more into this subject and find out how we can use our vision effectively while riding a motorcycle on a public road. Okay, vision. Right off the bat, let's just dismiss the whole "your bike goes where you look" mantra. It's obvious that our motorbike doesn't have any idea where we are looking at, so it can't go where we look by itself. We have to steer it in the way we want. There is a common explanation that our arms and upper body supposedly naturally follow our vision. But to be honest, it's not true also. You can clearly see that you can look one way and go to the other way. So your arms and your vision are not in fact in correlation here. At least not directly. But if it's true, and our bike doesn't just naturally follow our eyes, why almost every motorcycle rider instructor makes such a big deal from it? There is a very solid reason for this. Look where you want to go. It is an oversimplification, a tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Vision is, in fact, a very important thing for a rider. With our vision, we as riders acquire all the information we need to successfully ride our bike. So it is very beneficial if we learn how to use our vision properly. If we take casual street motorcycle riding, the main use of our vision would be for finding a path for our bike, identifying various hazards on this path, and correcting it.
And that's what people usually mean by "look where you want to go."
For example, imagine you are going through a corner and then, let's say, you spot a car on your way and you just start staring at it as it comes closer and closer. And you can't pull your eyes from it, it consumes your whole attention.
Now you surely have all the chances to hit this car.
But it is not because your bike naturally follows your vision. It's just because your brain sees only the oncoming car and doesn't see any way around it. This thing, when you just freeze and stare directly at the oncoming hazard, is usually called target fixation. It happens mostly in situations which our brain perceives as dangerous.
Everybody knows and tells you that you shouldn't target fixate, that you always should look where you want to go and you'll be fine.
The truth is that it's easy to say and not so easy to do. Target fixation is an instinct, and to be able to avoid it, we have to train our vision a little bit. Good thing is, we can do it pretty easily while practicing our other riding techniques. You may have already noticed that in most of our exercises I specifically mention when and where you should look. And that's not just a coincidence. In most exercises with cones, we can significantly boost our vision abilities, especially peripheral vision. By actively using our peripheral vision to watch for the cones and to look for our path of travel, we learn to trust it. And after we can trust our peripheral vision enough to detect various objects and look for our line, we can use our main vision more freely. Like in the previous example, it will be much easier for our brain to move the main vision from the car, if it can depend on peripheral vision to watch for it. Plus, because your peripheral vision is much wider than your main focused vision, you can now watch for multiple hazards at once. In a sense, you can now spread your vision and see the whole picture instead of tiny, narrow fragments of it. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about today. How you can greatly benefit from training your peripheral vision and using it when you ride your everyday ride.
Second thing will be about planning your line.
It's important to understand that we use our vision not separately, but in a sense in combination with our memory. When we are looking down the road and planning our line, we can't just look directly at our line, right? We have to also look at the road surface and conditions. We have to watch for cars, pedestrians, animals, and so on. So sometimes, for some short periods of time, we have to be able to ride our bike not with our vision, but with our memory. Just for example, let's say you are going through the intersection. You need to look left and right to make sure there is no cross traffic. But you are still going straight, not left or right. This means we not only need to be able to use our vision, but we also need to be able to ride our bike from memory for some time too.
That you also can train with our exercises.
For example, that's why I always point out that in slalom exercise you need to turn your head first and only then make a counter-steering and flip your bike. That directly contradicts that statement about your bike goes where you look. No, here for some time you are actually deliberately looking one way and going other way. And it's not only for slalom exercise. A lot of other exercises from our courses use this principle too. And it makes perfect sense for real-world riding too. We first look where we're supposed to go and only then we go there. You can say we are trying to think before we act. So make sure you do that when you are training. It's a pretty important thing to do. Another bright example of when we deliberately trying to separate our vision from steering is a stop box exercise. Usually it's pretty easy to stop your bike for a moment and then go without putting your feet down. But when you add the stipulation that you need to look left and right when you stop, suddenly this exercise becomes much harder. This also further trains our vision. The bottom line of this whole video is that I wanted to show you that it's very good for you to work with your vision a bit. It is not actually as simple as just look where you want to go. Sometimes you also need to be able to look somewhere else. You have to be able to see the whole situation around you. You have to be able to look in the mirrors and so on.
Okay, I hope it all made sense.
If you like my videos, also check out my video courses for beginner and advanced riders. Those courses are very good instruments for unlocking your potential as a rider. They consist from pretty simple exercises which you can set up on pretty much any available parking lot.
As always, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye!